Welcome back to Guitar Hero World Tour Rock Band Drum Videos. This is Chris again. As you can see, the setup has changed yet again, and we are now in a new location. It was just getting way too big to keep in the front room of my house, so we moved into the garage, and I know it's been a few months since I've been around doing videos for you guys. That's because I've been working in here, trying to get everything set up. It is cold in here, so we had to install a heater, which took about a month, and I had to redo the whole drum set, and I'm going to go over it. There's going to be multiple videos for you guys. We'll be drumming on a full 7.1 surround system, which is pretty cool. 60-inch television, so you'll be able to see what's going on Rock Band a lot easier. Pretty much the same setup still. Double bass pedals, the Alesis DM5 module, and the Guitar Hero World Tour J5. New module now from Yamaha, the Yamaha DT Express 4. I'm still using the switch box, and we have a new product. We have a couple of new products actually. This one is a new ion expander. It's the ion expander MIDI. I'll be getting into that in a little bit in some other videos. So I basically just want to talk about the evolution of the drum set in this video. Still using 4 pads. I really need to get a good snare. The pad as a snare is not as responsive as I'd like after all this time. You can see that my pads are getting pretty beat up. The cymbals, still pretty much the same. My ride, my 2 crashes, hi-hat. Still have the ability to swap the yellow and blue on the hi-hat by just pushing the hi-hat pedal, so for more realism in the game, you can actually use the hi-hat pedal to swap between colors. One of the things I've always discussed doing, and the whole point of this drum set with the real drum brains and everything, was to use real sounds with the game to listen to yourself drum, and it's something I really never did. I always did it on headphones. I never did a video for you guys to see how it worked. So now we actually have it hooked up. Pull out a stick real quick. As you can hear, the drum set is it's in freestyle mode, typical electronic drum set. I'm using the Alesis DM5 brain. That's what you heard there. Switch box's function is no longer the same as it was in the other videos. I'm now going to flip the switches on the switch box so that the DM5 module is no longer active. The first row here is your common inputs. These are from all the pads. This is a common out. Anything that goes into the input always comes out of this on the output. So I'm going to leave these blank because I don't want these to be used right now. So we've got 2 rows. We've got this row which goes to the Yamaha module, and this row that goes to the DM5. With the switches in the down position, the pads, we're basically talking to this row, was going to the DM5, which was outputting through the speakers. Now, what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to switch the module over to the Roland module, to the Yamaha module. This is the new Yamaha DT Express 4 module. basically I can flip between the two modules with the switch box now. The reason why the switch box is being used for the two drum modules is because I'm no longer using, well, I am still using 1/4 inch, but I was using on the Guitar Hero World Tour J5, which if you watch the videos, I had the drum set plugged into the switch box, and then the switch box was plugged into both the Guitar Hero World Tour J5 for the Guitar Hero game, and also into the Ion module, which plugs into the Xbox 360 so that you can play Rock Band. And we all know that the Ion module will actually differentiate between the 4 pads and 3 cymbals plus the kick. So if you're playing on a standard Rock Band drum set, you're only going to get snare, hi-hat, tom, bass. When you hit the yellow pad, all you're going to hear is a hi-hat, and if you hit the yellow cymbal, all you're going to hear is a hi-hat. Now, the Rock Band 2 drum set, the plastic ones, the toy ones, they also have a cymbal expansion kit, and they do work the same way as the Ion does. But if you have a Rock Band 1 kit, you're only going to hear the four pads are only going to be what I just described: snare, hi-hat, tom, and low tom. Actually, tom 2, tom 3, and your bass. So there was no way to utilize every single sound for the freestyle sections with an old set, so you have to use the Ion module if you want all the sounds. You know, a lot of people said to me, why not just use the Guitar Hero World Tour J5 that you have and forget about the Ion module, because it plays both Rock Band and Guitar Hero. And that was true. It was great for Guitar Hero games because it gave you all 5 lanes, gave you the orange cymbals, so you could play the Ion kit with World Tour, and it sounded, you know, the way it should for the game, and it gave you all the lanes. It was basically the game the way it was supposed to be played. And yes, it does work for Rock Band as well with that module, whether you have, you know, your standard Guitar Hero World Tour drum set, you know, the plastic 3-piece pad with the 2 cymbals and the bass pedal, or if you were just using the MIDI port on it with a real drum set. Again, it only gave you for Rock Band snare, tom 2, tom 3, tom 1 was always the hi-hat, and the bass pedal. There was no way for that module to give you all the sounds that the Ion. So I basically was using the Ion brain with my old Ion expander, which I did some videos on. You guys remember the old Ion expander? Yeah, the old Ion expander basically was your pads in over here, and then you output it to both your brains. The first row was for your Ion brain, your second row was for your Alessis brain, so you didn't have to keep disconnecting the wires. Well, that was great and all, but I decided to go MIDI with everything. So we now have a new Ion expander, which I will talk about in some other videos, and that is the MIDI Ion expander. And we have the Guitar Hero World Tour J5 that I had. I'm no longer using it with the 1/4 inch inputs. I'm just using it with the MIDI from the Yamaha drum brain. And I've actually got the brains working, both brains working for both games, and in the next couple of videos over the next few weeks, I'm going to have a few surprises for you guys. There's all sorts of new stuff that's out. I'm sure you guys read about or heard about the Pearl E Pro set that's coming out. It's supposed to be like this really awesome high-end electronic drum kit from Pearl. It looks just like a real drum set, but it's all electronic. The GM1 from Omega was just talked about. It's a module that allows you to connect it to a real drum set or buy a Pearl set with the GM1, and allows you to do a drum set, real drum set with Rock Band or Guitar Hero. There's a lot of hidden cost in that as well, and you know, they start at about $500. So I'm going to stop this video here and say welcome back. And we're going to have some sponsors now, some people that are sponsoring videos, so I'll be talking about them. And I'm going to end this video here, and I will start another one. So tune in for part 2, which I'm going to do right now. Thanks.